Meow 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 meow. Meow, meow. Mm, 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 mm. Oh no. Hello, hello. Perfect. Meow 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 meow. Meow meow meow. Oops. Wait. That's the wrong. Oops. 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 Hold on. Yo, what's up, Suave? The game is going to be replicated, yes. Hey, what's up, Caesar? With class, good to see you. Welcome to the stream, guys. Today's gonna be a chill day of game development. What's up, General Roy? Good to see you. And the game in question that we're working on is one that I showed off on yesterday's stream. This is the game design document for it. We're calling it Exterminus. And what I want you guys to picture is co-op Megabonk, but mixed with Marvel Rivals. My day's been good, General Roy. I honestly woke up pretty recently. I slept in fairly late, which is good. I like doing that. How's your day been? Hope it's been good. Ghoulie, you made it. You made it to the actual game dev stream, first of its kind. Will there be a dash reset character? You bet your ass there's gonna be a dash reset character. That's the first character I'm gonna make. I am putting Black Panther into a game where he'll actually be fun to play. I'm just literally gonna remake Black Panther, but make him stronger and better. And I'm gonna put him in this game. Yo, what's up, Roku? Guys, I would have gone live earlier, but there's a few like things I need to figure out first before actually working on the game itself in terms of well, we can get into it in a bit, but I spent like 2 hours trying to figure out how to change one thing. And I finally made a little bit of progress towards it. And so that's where we're at right now. Is I'm not going live. I have a decent direction that I want to move in. And here's what that's going to look like. If you neglect other characters, the game might be cooked. No worries. I'm making 4 extremely good characters. Don't you worry about a thing. Yeah, today's going to be cozy game dev stream. Toasted! How's Texas? I love Texas, man. I love Texas. All right. So, let me quickly go over the concept of Exterminus again for anyone who missed it and just as a refresher. If you've seen a game like Megabonk or Vampire Survivors, Megabonk and Vampire Survivors, they're what are called bullet heaven games, which is the opposite of bullet hell. If you look up bullet hell, right? It's a genre of game that involves like you playing as something that needs to dodge a bunch of projectiles, right? Like this is bullet hell. Bullet heaven is where you create the projectiles and you're the ones killing all the masses of enemies with all the projectiles you create. So that's the genre, bullet heaven. And you play as a character, you survive as long as you can, you upgrade your character and they do more and more damage, you pick up items and all that kind of stuff. AKA Magic Beyblade build, exactly. Appreciate it, General Roy. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, exactly. Very, very over. Like nowadays, there's like 10 trillion of these games, right? You've got, I mean, Megabonk just came out, but I have one called Goobies. Goobies is a great game, also Bullet Heaven. Soulstone Survivors. There's just a bunch of games that got created within this genre because it was so fun and so good. Now, what's interesting is most of the games when they first came out, like Vampire Survivors, were single player. But then one of the first ways that people started iterating and creating, you might say rip-offs if you're being harsh, but you know, creating new versions of the genre is they added co-op. But then you got a game like Megabonk come out, and Megabonk has been an absolute phenomenon, super successful, made by pretty much only one guy. And it's a similar idea of Vampire Survivors, except Vampire Survivors, you can see, is top-down with a retro feel. Megabonk is 3D and also has this very charming art style that this guy made. Super, super cool. So I've played a little bit of Megabonk now. I've played about 2 or 3 hours. Very fun game, but it's single player. And yeah, see, there's no duoing in Megabonk. That's the thing. And yeah, 3D is a fairly new thing for this genre. But here's the thing. Megabonk has no co-op. And if you had to like pick some classic installments of this genre, of course it'd be Vampire Survivors, but something that's similar but a little bit different you might know. Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2 is also this kind of idea of you play as characters and a bunch of enemies spawn, and you do have to kind of dodge a lot of projectiles, but you get stronger and all this kinds of stuff. So Megabonk actually borrows a lot of mechanics, not just from Vampire Survivors, but from Risk of Rain. So the only thing that it doesn't borrow from Risk of Rain really is the active abilities. Yo, what's up, Scoots? So here's the thing. The only thing that I don't really like about Megabonk is it goes completely in the Vampire Survivors direction in terms of active versus passive abilities, which is to say that all the damage dealing abilities are completely passive. All you have to do is move around the map and the abilities will damage everything around you, right? Whereas in Risk of Rain, you have these active abilities and all the buffs really affect your like basic attack, right? If you pick up items, it usually increases your damage or attack speed or creates a percentage chance that your basic attack will like fire rockets or lightning or whatever. It's all buffing your active abilities. What I want to do is kind of hit a middle ground between the two where you have some passive damaging items that just will make stuff happen around you and deal damage, but also really compelling characters that have abilities that you can use to kill enemies. And I'm going to be pulling from a lot of hero shooter sensibilities for these abilities to make them as cool as possible. So that's the overall just philosophy behind the game. I did say hi to you, Toasted. Yeah. So, enter Exterminus. We've got the idea is to start with 4 classes with extremely distinct, engaging mechanics. Yeah, White Tiger. The endless enemies gradually get stronger. You can get passive upgrades, and yeah, we'll talk about the rest later. The classes that I came up with, I think, like I'm basically trying to come up with classes that I would be extremely, extremely excited to play. No ninja class? Brother, the rogue is basically a ninja. Hello? Rogue and ninja are essentially the same like vibe. No? Yes. What are you talking about? Bro. Does that not basically look like a ninja to you? basically a ninja. Anyways, I'm going to start ignoring Scoots now because she's just rage baiting me. So, trying to come up with classes that would be really excited to play, that everyone would just be so excited to play, that even if you were fighting just like practice dummies, it'd be fun to play as. So, first idea, take Black Panther, make him better, and then put him in the game. And that's where this idea for the rogue is. All these names are placeholder. But the idea behind the rogue is you have an agile melee character with dual daggers, because who doesn't love dual daggers? So you can do quick strikes with the dual daggers, but then the abilities are where all these characters are going to shine. So of course, we have to have spear and dash, right? You spear somebody, they get marked, then you can dash them. And I might rework the spear to, be something different, just because it doesn't really make sense to have, for the rogue to have a spear, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, basically just be free. Is it going to be free? No, it can't be free. That'd be insane. And so the idea here is that, in a game like Megabonk, you're fighting 50 enemies at once. Imagine you could spear all those enemies and then just dash a zillion times. Like, that would be so cool. So that's really the crux, like where we're starting. But then we got to give him a couple more interesting abilities. Obviously, I hate spinning kick. I think spinning kick is super boring and lame. So instead, I chose what I'm calling blade dance, where you're going to be able to cast on the ground and it'll be like a circle cast so you can see where you're casting it. And you, the rogue, will go invisible or like intangible and very quickly strike any enemy in that, or every enemy in that area. So the best example of this, like Yasuo is a good example, but also Ember Spirit from Dota. Let's see. This one. No, not that one. This is exactly what I have in mind. Yeah, exactly. Like a more mobile Psylocke ult. It's going to do less damage than Psylocke ult ultimately, but look at this. Ready? Cast on the ground. Bang, bang, bang. That's the move. So you'll be able to cast on the ground, you go invincible for a little bit, and it hits everybody in the area. Bang, 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 bang. Right? So that should be really fun. And then ultimate might go with this, might go with something different, but for now, I'm just making the ultimate a shadow clone, where you spawn a duplicate of yourself that's able to use all your abilities and upgrades. Do you control areas of automatic? It's automatic. So you'll just cast it in the circle, and everyone in the circle will get hit. Might have to, like, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to balance this move. It'll be interesting to balance all of this, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so this is the character. That's the rogue. Then we got the brute. I got a friend named Ridge. Many of you guys know Ridge. Okay, bye, Scoots. Many of you guys know Ridge. Ridge loves playing super heavy characters that just swing big weapons and grapple. So, gotta have one of those. So we got our brute, which is a lumbering heavy melee hitter with a large axe. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. It's basically Reinhardt. Reinhardt, but with grappling, which is kind of like Pin. Yeah, exactly. So basic attack, swing the axe for heavy cleave damage, and then some abilities. We got sort of a movement ability, but also damage. Body slam, target an area on the ground, launching into the air and slamming back down to the ground, damaging and stunning enemies. Grapple, you can pick up an enemy and either throw it, causing damage, or using the enemy that you grappled as a melee weapon. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Fent ult, but only one cast of it. You just kind of like cast it off in the distance and you jump up and hit the ground. Exactly like Mr. Fantastic ult. Then we got Body Shield, where you become an impenetrable shield. Think about like Mr. Fantastic Pop-Tart move, but it more easily blocks damage from being dealt to your allies. And you're not invincible, you just take reduced damage. Yo, what's up, Assistaria? And then Ultimate Berserk, again, not a huge fan of these kinds of ults. Maybe we'll rework it, but for now, Berserk just makes you get enraged. More movement speed, more attack speed, more damage for a short time. Wait, you're the shield? Yeah, exactly. Body shield. That's the idea. Like, you're trying to protect someone, you just like go and stand in one spot and you just like tank everything. So that's the brute. Then we got the summoner. I love summoning stuff, so I gotta have a summoning character. More like magic kind of coded character. Basic attack is gonna be Ultron laser. Ultron left click. Imagine you have like a staff or like something and you just like shoot a laser beam. Slight ticks of damage and then one big hit. And the cool thing about this is that it'll damage enemies and also empower friendlies. So you could shoot your teammates, or of course, because you're the summoner, you could shoot your summoned units to briefly buff them for a little bit. Abilities, summon. So you'll have like 2 or 3 units that you can just summon and they'll cost mana. And then 2 abilities that will go pretty well hand in hand together. We got EMP, where you cast at a location to create an electrical pulse, dealing damage and stunning enemies. Yeah, exactly like on M1, except it won't heal probably. It'll just like buff them, like empower them. Yeah, world class. Definitely when you make like a berserk kind of ult, you got to make sure that it feels powerful, you know? This is how I get out of silver? Yes, Squirtle's good. Do you say something cool, like example like arise when summoning? Maybe. Well, we'll get to that too. So EMP and then Gravity Well, cast a location to pull enemies in, kind of like, you know, Freya ult, Zarya ult, the old Orisa ability. Is there an example in Marvel Rivals? I don't know. Yeah, I got you, Roku. And then, of course, Ultimate Necromancy. This is, I think, would be really exciting. Basically, you channel a spell to raise the dead that rolls a percentage chance on every enemy in a specific area based on their strength to resurrect them and fight for you. So if you kill like a swath of enemies, you cast your ult, and if they're weak enemies, then you pretty much are guaranteed to just summon them in that moment. But if they're stronger enemies, you know, it's a lower percentage chance. But you could also theoretically use it on like bosses. So you could raise a boss to fight for you, which I think would be dope. And then we've got, last but not least, Punisher. Just going to be a typical third-person shooter. He's got an automatic rifle. And then he has a few abilities that, you know, use other guns, use other weapons. Pull out a sniper, fires a single piercing shot that does high damage. Throw an auto turret, think like Torbjorn, no more. Throw a grenade. Probably change this to something different, but for now, throw a grenade. It's pretty easy. And then Ultimate is basically Punisher buff from the PvE, where you just get like a brief period of very high damage that automatically headshots. This probably also change. I don't know. I can't really think of another ult. And so there you go. Those are the 4 characters. I feel like Moon Knight type of weapon would be sick in this genre. A projectile that bounce between enemies. I completely agree. I absolutely agree. So those are the 4 characters, and really the core of the game is going to be making those characters feel as good as possible to play. But then on top of that, you upgrade them over time, and there's 2 main ways that you're going to upgrade them. One is by leveling up, and 2 is by picking up upgrades. Thank you, Lucy. It's just Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing music. So the pickups will basically be items that give you some sort of buff. And so for now, I've planned out 3 types: attack modifiers, passive damaging modifiers, and defense modifiers. So attack modifiers are things that empower your basic attack or things like that, that make it so that, like, you know, every time you attack, there's a chance to cause chain lightning, for example. Or attacking friendlies heals them for a percentage of damage dealt, stuff like that. Passive damage modifiers are more like the ones in Megabonk, where it's like a weapon that'll just happen around you and kill stuff. So it could be like attack drones, you know, orbs that follow you and automatically shoot nearby stuff, a boomerang that periodically shoots out in an arc, lightning that periodically strikes people, like, you know, this kind of stuff. And then defense modifiers are just things that make you more, you know, more buff, more durable. So you could get an item that gives you health regen, armor, empowered if you're fall below certain health, a chance to block damage, evasion, that kind of stuff. These are the main pickups. Then we've got leveling up. Leveling up will give you 2 avenues for making your character stronger. One is just increasing stats. There will be 3 main stats: agility, strength, and intelligence for now. Agility, if you spec points into it, will increase your attack speed and movement speed. Strength will increase your HP and damage reduction, and intelligence will increase your mana or energy for casting abilities. But then leveling up will also give you a role of, you'll get like 3 options, and you can pick one of the options, you know, classic roguelite stuff, that will upgrade one of your character's abilities specifically. Yeah, this will be like a roguelite type game. Yeah, exactly. So when you level up, you might get a chance to like upgrade your turret as the Punisher, or upgrade your EMP, upgrade your summoned units, upgrade your body shield, all that kind of stuff. That's where those upgrades would come into play. And there you go. Then we've just got things like the enemies, the environment, all this kind of stuff, and the roadmap. So enemies will be initially just like Megabunk, just things that slowly move towards you and hit you. And then after that, you know, it'll be, maybe we'll come up with some more complex stuff like the mini bosses that Megabonk has and things like that. In terms of environment, we have this whole lore that we designed for this game when we first came up with the idea a while ago. Yeah, what's up, kid? And the idea is basically techno-western, like a sci-fi western mix. So it's a western town, you know, old-timey western, but mixed with technology inside a biodome on a planet. So there's some lore there. And then we just got the general roadmap. So this roadmap kind of brings it through proof of concept to first playable, vertical slice, MVP, and post MVP. And today we're just going to be working on proof of concept. But before we get to that, because I'm going to make like a, I don't know, let's see, 7/7/2025 checklist. Actually, we'll call this checklist, and then here we'll do 11/7, and then we'll do checklist. That way we can track how much stuff we want to get done today. That saying sounds crazy. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, we have this whole lore behind this game that's like really, really cool that my friend Victor came up with. So hopefully we can fit this game into that lore. Yeah, me too, world class. Okay, so one of the important things you have to keep in mind when it comes to game development is scope creep and just the overall scope of your game. Right now, this is a pretty, like, it's not a small game by any chance. I mean, it's by any means. It's small relative to, you know, AAA games, but for an indie game where I'm the only person working on it, like, Megabonk probably took a long ass time to make. Has this game idea been in your mind for a while now? Yeah, it has and hasn't. I'm kind of reimagining it right now in this format, because before we were going to do this but in like a Black Ops Zombies style game, whereas this is more of like a Megabonk style game. So there's a lot that goes into even just making one character or making one enemy. And where was I going with that? Oh, right. If I was to make every single thing in this thing from scratch, it would take me 10 times as long. So luckily, Unreal has a lot of marketplace assets you can buy, like game templates and things like that get you started. And I found one that has a lot of stuff that we're gonna want and is also missing a lot of stuff that we're gonna need. And it's called the Flexible Combat System. It looks like this. And this is the starting point for where we're gonna be at. So it comes with, you can even do like top down and first person. We're gonna be focusing on third person, obviously. Comes with all this kind of stuff. Melee combat, comes with weapons, comes with magic, comes with bow and arrow, abilities, like throwing weapons. Comes with a lot of stuff. So this will give us a really, really good launching point for our game. And then we'll just have to customize it and modify it in a lot of different ways to turn it into what we want it to be. Which brings us to Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine. I can just show you like what the sample project looks like, you know, to start with. You get a whole main menu screen. You get like this guy here. Do you write logic in the Unreal app itself? Yes. You can use Visual Studio, but Unreal has a very comprehensive visual scripting language that is much easier to use than writing directly in the C++. So that's what we'll be using for the most part. This is where you start. And there's even tons of features that we're gonna have to like cut out because we don't need it. Like you can create a character, and there's like a character creator. You can, you know, give it certain abilities, give it an appearance, change its height, its width. Like we don't need this stuff. because we're gonna have 4 preset classes. So if you go to pre-made character, then you can see these character types. You can click, you can change, potentially change, maybe not. Give it a name. And then boom, here we are in the game. So already, I've got movement, I can roll, I can sprint, I can do different attacks, and I can block. We've got a health bar, stamina bar, mana bar, like all this stuff's already in the game. We've got an ability, ability boxes at the bottom, even a mini map. But if you notice, there's a lot of things that are, it looks too smooth. It is quite smooth, yeah. This is the stuff you've already made and coded? No, this is from the template project that we're starting from, that we're building off of. But if you notice, there are a few like really core things that do not match what we want this game to be. And that brings us to our checklist. So when you're making a game, can you moonwalk in Dead by Daylight? That's a good question. I don't know how you moonwalk in Dead by Daylight, but oops, I don't know how to do that. When you make a game, it's very tempting to want to just go directly in and start developing all the crazy features you want to make. But if you don't have a really strong foundation, then you're kind of building on crap, right? You're polishing a turd, as they say. And the foundations for a game, for any game, it's 3 things: the player controller, the player camera, and oh fuck, I always forget the 3rd C. It's the 3 C's. Anyways, player controller and player camera are extremely important. And if you notice, if we go into this crowd control boom, if we go into this, like, think like, look at this snapshot of the game and think about how it compares to the Marvel Rivals game, right? And when you're controlling your character, something as simple as like even just where the camera is placed. In Marvel Rivals, your character is slightly offset to the left so that your reticle can go in the center of the screen, and you can aim. You're basically looking over their shoulder. Another thing is your character is always facing the camera, whereas in this game, you can move like this and turn your camera and even attack. Well, the attacks always go towards the camera, but the camera is not where we want it to be, and it's not making the character face the direction we want it to face. So things like that we need to adjust first before we get into anything else, because we want the game, even just moving around in the base game, to feel like a hero shooter, since that's how we want to design this game to be. We want it to be like the Marvel Rivals PvE mode. You're gonna add fall damage. I hate fall damage. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So before I started stream, that's actually what I spent like an hour trying to figure out, is how can I get the character to just look where the camera is facing? Because normally in a default project, there's pretty simple booleans that you set, booleans being a true or false value. There's literally just orient rotation to movement, and you can turn that off so that the rotation of your character is not where they're moving. And then something like use controller desired rotation. BP, yeah, BP stands for blueprint. But if you check and uncheck these, it doesn't actually change it. It doesn't actually change anything. And so I went through and just tried to figure out from all these different components what makes it tick, what actually makes the character, do what you want it to do. And one of the things I figured out is that there's a lock-on function that basically has the character moving the exact way we want it to move. Oh my god, it's an axe. Nice. Let's check this out. If we go to... no, this is the wrong place. Oh, one sec, someone knocked on the door. I got a package. Okay, I'm back. What was it? I think it's my keyboard, my key switching tool. Okay, so if we go to targeting system, check this out. So if you look right here, right, like the character is not moving facing the camera, right? We want him to strafe, really. But if I lock onto a target, now he's strafing. Now he's kind of doing more of what we would want him to do if this was like a hero shooter, right? It's just always face where the camera is facing. So then the question is, how do we get him to do that by default? Have any suggestions? I mean, I'm not a keyboard guy, but I have the Rainy 75 and I really like it. And so I went through the whole logic of target locking, and honestly, it was like a giant rabbit hole, but it did land on this switch rotation mode. And this has orient character to camera and seems to be what actually makes this happen. Because what's interesting is if I put like a 4-second delay and then grab the movement rotation status and use switch rotation mode like this, notice what happens. We spawn in, we look around, then 4 seconds passes. Wait. Oh yeah, there we go. 4 seconds passes, and now we're moving exactly the way we want them to move. Yeah, I know. Visual scripting is super cool, Ghoulie. It makes everything a lot easier. So this is like what we want. You know, give or take. And then we just need to move the camera to be in a different spot. The question is, how do I get this to happen by default? Because if I remove the delay, it actually doesn't work. See? So that means that some other code somewhere is overwriting it probably before it's able to do what it needs to do. Which is not really what you want. So, I mean, I don't really know how to debug this, but one thing we can try is just searching for switch rotation mode as a node, and it'll show us everywhere that this node is being called. And then we can just go through one by one and try to see which one is overwriting the setting. It's probably not lock on. It's probably here in the event graph, yeah. Switch rotation mode. Initialize. Character movement. Maybe state machine based. Wait, if state machine based returns true if A is not equal to B. Okay, so if the locomotion system is not state machine based, then it returns true. And then I'll set this timer by event, check, replicated check. No idea what's going on here. Oh, here we go. Wait, switch rotation mode defaults. Wait, is that what we want? Default value true? Imagine. What if I just set all of these to true? That might work. And then we can get rid of this. Is there even debugging this? There's no clear timeline of what logic happens first. There is, yeah. You can assign breakpoints. But as with any object-oriented system, debugging is a piece of shit. Okay, see, like that did not seem to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. So setting all these to true did nothing. Probably because we're passing in a Boolean value normally. What if I just get rid of this and we just make it always true. Lol. Whoops. Yeah, see, even then, he's still not moving like that. So then, literally, the best thing I could think of is just hard coding it a few seconds after initialization, which sounds so dumb. Okay, what if I... Hold on. What if I do this? This is also a really dumb way to fix this. This looks like the function that ultimately sets if we're using the controller rotation and orienting to movement, and I could just remove the option. No, still nothing. That's crazy. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess, what if I just do like a 0.2 second delay? That'd be fast enough that it wouldn't, this is so scuffed. No, it's too fast apparently. I also have an outstanding question in the Discord about this, so maybe someone will get back to me, but until then, just have to kind of fuck around. Oh, wait. Interesting. Interesting. When I drew my weapon, it updated. What? And now... Oh. Access none, trying to read, set wants to strafe. Weird. What? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, hold on. What if we do this? Okay, well, that's something. So once I pull my weapon out, that's when it, like, starts to respect this, which means... What if we do it first, before anything else? Yeah, exactly, Ghoulie. Which, ultimately, when it comes to the actual game, I don't want them to not have their weapon equipped, you know? Like, they should always have their weapon equipped. That's kind of the point, but... That's so weird. So I guess one thing we could check then is what the input for sheathing does. Let's see. So this is the function that handles all player input, which is insane. I don't know. I guess this is a really efficient or organized way of doing player input. Yeah, what's up, Twisty? So let's find draw weapon. Perfect. Draw weapon. So you press Q, and then you either sheath weapon or draw weapon in the combat status component. And then the combat status component, draw weapon setup, SR draw weapon, call global reset. I wonder if this is what does it. I don't know. Let's draw weapon setup. Quick mayhem, blah blah blah. Call animation play, on action begin. Okay, so that just sets that up. And then SR draw weapon. Call global reset, calculate anim output, MC draw weapon. Multicast draw weapon. Replication delay check. Blah blah blah. Weapon drawn, set with notify, play montage. Update weapon drawn, calculate anim output. I wonder if this notify does anything important. Update weapon drawn, character anim BP. That doesn't sound like what we're looking for. Update weapon drawn. Set weapon attach. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, none of this stuff seems to like reset anything. Except for that like global reset thing. Looks confusing as fuck. Once you get used to it, it's actually really, really helpful. But exactly what you mentioned, debugging is a massive pain in the ass. But it would be with C++ anyways, because all of game dev is object-oriented. So trying to find where the fuck stuff is so annoying. But you mentioned how do you debug the order of logic? One thing you can do is you can add a breakpoint. If I add a breakpoint here, as soon as I hit that line of code, it'll pause everything and I can play the sequence of nodes one by one. So check this out. Oh, it already happened. So then it pauses the entire execution of all the code right here. And then I can go either, I can use these buttons, which I wish it would tell me which one was which. Okay, yeah, step to the next node, step into the next node to be executed, continue the execution, step out to the next node. So I can go one by one to see which nodes execute and in what order. The problem is it's not great for debugging like super individual things. You know what I mean? Whoops. Breakpoint. What is a breakpoint? A breakpoint is like a checkpoint that you can place anywhere in the code. And once you hit that checkpoint, it'll pause the whole game and you can go into the code line by line and see what happens. Is there a timeline of what events occurred up until that breakpoint? Not that I know of. Yeah, I know what a breakpoint is, lol. Okay, but not everyone does. So, I mean, we're here. Moving backwards is so slow. Can you add Jeff? Yeah, maybe eventually. Literally nothing, Gib. Oh, what about Just to Impress, though? Okay, so I think the next thing to do is going to be move the camera to more match a hero shooter. And then... Look, he doesn't... Interesting. He doesn't turn to stay facing when I turn the camera. That'll be something else that I have to fix. Free cameras are cool, but they don't work in combat? Yeah, exactly. I need to... This is something that we're gonna have to change. Problem is I don't, like, know how. This is the issue with, this strafing, is that we're getting the strafing and stuff, but we're not actually keeping the orientation of the camera. What are you cooking? A game. I explained it super in detail at the very beginning of the stream. It turns only when you're actually moving? Yeah, exactly. Which is not what we want. And I actually think the problem might be because we're using motion matching, which is like a new thing that came out, rather than a state machine. And oh god. Going from motion matching to a state machine sounds like it's gonna be tough. Hi, Wowish. Sorry, I missed your hi. So that's gonna be in the animation blueprints. How's the game coming along? It's gonna be tough to get oriented in this template project, but once I do, then it should go very well. Okay, where's the event graph? There you go. General functionality. Attack, rotate. Create rails from character references. Get selected locomotive motion system from gameplay settings. And then reviving, swimming, interface events. Starting from scratch, fake dev? Yeah, so true. I feel like if you had unlimited time to work on this, then building it from scratch would be so much better. I mean, it would come with advantages and disadvantages. The advantages would literally take me like 10x the time. Because once you get oriented in a project like this, then all the other features and systems are like already there. You don't have to like spend all this time implementing them. And everything can be tweaked and customized if you know what you're doing. And that's the main issue. The main issue is not that I didn't start from scratch, it's that I still have to like learn what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. So this is the anim graph. This decides what animations play at any time, and wow, it is big. No, Toasted, I can't. you have a ton of game dev experience? This is your first time actually doing it? I don't have a ton of game dev experience. I have some. Why not? Because I don't want to listen to Hamilton. Okay, I think most of the stuff we're going to want to deal with is over here. Namely, if we go to like Fists, idle run, jump start, blah, blah, blah. Idle run lock? I want idle run. This is the blend space. Can you walk us through why you're looking at the character and walking animation logic? It's because of something that I tested out a little bit earlier. Can you find some cats there, some Stardew Valley? No, the only thing I want to listen to right now is Animal Crossing tested. So that's just how it's going to be. One of the things that I tested earlier was there's this new movement like animation system called motion matching, which is what's currently being used. And the way it works is it matches a database of like tons of animations based on your vectors. Yo, what's up, Cable? Which is different from a state machine, which only has like, you know, a dozen animations and then matches it based on your vectors. And doesn't as cleanly transition between them. So that's why the movement looks so smooth in the template project, is because it's using this like giant database of animations and then going between those animations cleanly to get this effect of like, you know, smooth movement. And honestly, all we would need to figure out how to do is just get it to turn in place. Why won't it turn in place, man? This would be fine if you would just turn with my camera. You know what I mean? But then when you go to the targeting system, like... Is 1060 good for my PSAT? I don't know. Depends on your goals, I guess. This game has made so much progress since the last scene. Holy shit, it's a different game, Cable. It's a different game. Oh my god. That's funny, though. A completely different game, completely different project. Yeah. But yeah, maybe just to, I don't know, get something else going, I want to change where the camera is by default, which I think there's like a bunch of variables that do that. Default camera? I want melee camera. Yeah, melee camera location right, melee camera location left, which we want them to be the same. So I think the camera's always going to be on the right? So honestly, we could probably just take this and put it here. Let's try that. See how that looks. I'm going to change the level that we're on, so I don't need to go to the main menu every time. Problem is that when I look around, the character doesn't move with it. Let's go to the logic that turns the player camera and try to trigger walking animation there. Turns the player camera. Yeah, so the player that the logic that turns the player camera is just like the mouse input. What type of game is this? Honestly, let me just fucking pin this shit, because also, okay, so checklist for today, we're gonna try to move camera to over the shoulder like rivals. Player always faces camera. And I don't know. Honestly, those are like pretty decent goals just to start. But be able to attack while moving would be a great one to do as well. Oh yeah, wait, I was gonna do this. Oh, just doxed myself. Well. Are you using AI for this project? No. Alright, that's the information for the game, which I unfortunately can't pin. There we go. What is the link? The link is to the game design document for the game. Okay. Yeah, I also don't want the player to be able to do this. Probably. Hey, what's up, Hephaestus? So that's an easy thing we could do. But also... where does this function get called? Oops. Alright, well, it's fine. Who's the best Pokemon? Combuskin. Is this your new game that you work on? Yes, yes. The stream's only on YouTube and not on Twitch? Yes. Also yes. Do you work with any code in Unreal, or is it all node based? I mean, the nodes are code, right? It's visual scripting, so these represent, you know, code. Like this is a, you know, a Boolean variable. But yeah, I don't do any work directly in the C++ because it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, Tosa, I don't know how to change that, so that's just what it is. Oh, it might be because I still have it open there. fixed it. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Right, so I'm trying to figure out determine camera output, event update camera. How often does this run? Probably like really often. Oh. Let's try this. Let's just set this to like some crazy value and see what it does. Yo! Okay, perfect. That's helpful. So now we can start messing with that a little bit more. Thanks, Avestus. Appreciate it. You probably shouldn't tweak with the core camera control functions. No, that's what we need to do. We need to. This isn't like the core camera controls. These are functions that change just the camera's position. So we're messing with them to figure out exactly how they work, so that we can get it to be where we want it to be. For example, if we put it 200 on the X, ideally that would move it to the right. But it moved it to the left, so that's we need to, we need to actually do maybe negative 150. That's a little bit too much. We also want it to be closer. Maybe negative 50 is enough. And Y is probably, yeah, depth to the guy, so maybe negative 50 also. Sounds good, Steven. Appreciate you. How's this compile instantly? Because you're only compiling one class at a time. Yeah, okay, that's better. It moved back a little bit though, so that means what we need this to be is like plus 100. Getting closer to the Marvel Rivals angle. That's pretty good. Honestly, like a tiny bit closer, and I think we're chilling. It's like almost exactly what you want. Do you get any new ideas for classes or no? It's all in the document. Yeah, that looks like Marvel Rivals, bro. This looks good. Although this is not what you want. I don't know why it's doing that. This is maybe even a little bit too close. That's definitely too close. Take back to 100. Even a tiny bit more to the right might be good. Like negative 75. Cool. I'd say that's pretty good. Now I should figure out how to get rid of this whole like zooming in and out function, because that's pretty annoying. And then also gotta fix this. I don't know what's happening here. I think the axis that it's turning on is not what you want. God, messing with this stuff is so tough. Making all the in-game assets yourself? No, pretty much everything you see is not mine. I mean, I bought it. You know, it's a template that we're working off of. Yeah, flamethrower would be cool. I need to find the input for camera zoom and just get rid of it. Hold on. That would be in input, player input. Zoom minimap? No. Why can I not find zoom? Am I crazy? There we go. Yeah, honestly, I'm liable to just get rid of mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down as inputs. I think that's just the easiest thing to do. Yeah, what's up, Elysium? How's it going? Will this be going up on Steam or something? Ideally, yeah, at the end of the day. Is this game engine literally what Rivals is made in? Correct. That is correct. Okay, cool. So now mousing does not do anything, which means I can tweak this as much as I want. I don't need to worry about zooming in and out. So we can go back to the camera transitions. I go back to messing with this. How you start learning Unreal? Honestly, you just do it. You just go. You know what I mean? Like, you think about something you want to make, and then you try to figure out how to make it. And you Google, and you look up YouTube tutorials and all that kind of stuff. What do you think? Does it look like the Marvel Rivals angle? I feel like it needs to be a tiny bit closer and a little bit more to the left. Maybe 80. And maybe like 140. How long have you been indie deving? On and off for a while. I need to see this in full screen. Hold on. There we go. What do you guys think? Does this look like the angle that Marvel Rivals has played at? Hey, what's up, Sixel? Camera too low? Might be right. But only like a little bit higher. That's not that much higher. Too towards the middle. I know, obviously the best way to test this would be to have Marvel Rivals side by side, so maybe we should launch it. You kind of sound like this Rivals YouTuber streamer. His name is Carcat. You should check him out. That's weird. I get that a lot, though. Have an in-game picture of Magic? Yeah, maybe an in-game picture would be easier. Dang, is it really that small? That zoomed out? Yo, what's up? It's Toad. I didn't realize how zoomed out Marvel Rivals was. That's crazy. The freestyle lines went so hard. I appreciate it. I was trying to. Bro. What do you think? It's like pretty good. Appreciate it, Z1. Cosmos. Okay, now the only problem is that one, the guy doesn't continue turning when you move your camera. Also, there's a lot of somewhere that camera lag. I think I know how to fix that though. Camera boom. Target arm length. Probe size. Enable camera lag. Yeah, let's get rid of that. It should feel like very responsive. That's much better. That's actually so much better. That feels amazing. Yay. Why is there a toggle for camera lag? I don't know. Like, this actually feels like I'm controlling the camera and oh my god. What about top-down review in reverse? Yeah, this is the problem. Is that when you look down, you don't stay here. And I think it's because of the boom arm. I think the boom arm for the, yeah, the camera boom is not like... You know what? That's what it is. The problem is we're adjusting the camera location, but it's changing the origin of the boom arm. That's the problem. So we need to put this back. We need to put this back and just move, I think it was at 125. Yeah, see now it's centered on the character, right? Which is what kind of what you want, right? Did you at least write down those values? Maybe the testing later? Yeah, honestly, I thought about that when I first did it. We can just undo. I don't know. Someone write them down. Negative 80, 140, 140. And then I think all we need to do is take the camera boom and make it way smaller. That's a good start. Okay, that doesn't really seem to accomplish much. Hold on. Does that actually do anything? Okay, that actually just does nothing. So, okay. So then maybe we just... Whoa. What the fuck I'm doing? That's a good question, Cooley. I have no idea. Is it probe? No? What is probe size? How big should the query probe be? Okay. Natural length of the spring arm when there are no collisions. This should half the spring arm. Like, why can't I move it? Oh. Oh shit, what were the values? Was it like negative 80? No, negative 80, negative 140? Shit. Wow, super helpful, Gib, thank you. That's what you want. Wait. No. Yeah, that's a lot better. That looks pretty good. Let's look at it in full screen. Do you still feel like it's too low? Wow, that looks so much better. Window borderless or full screen? Windowed borderless for the most part. Depends on the game. Yeah, it's definitely a little too low. So socket offset maybe 50? Maybe too much. We'll see. Try spying on a dummy? Yeah, there's there are no basic attacks. There's sound effects, but I have them muted. Just as a point of detail. You're trying to get it to look like the Dark Shadow camera? I'm trying to get it to look like the Marvel Rivals camera, which now if this feels a little bit too high. Maybe like half that. And then honestly, maybe a tiny bit further back. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Dark Shadow looks super high, actually super low. Okay, that makes sense. Hiya! I missed. Well. Okay, honestly, you know what? I don't know if I hate that you can look around the camera like this, because it is kind of nice. You know the way when you emote in Marvel Rivals, you can kind of look at yourself like this. Um, and you know, in this game, like if you're actively doing anything, you'll turn towards the camera. So maybe this is fine for now, at least. Look at that way, because that's how the Souls games do it. Yeah, and I think this is actually just fine. Okay, so if we go back to our checklist, hold on. Go back to our checklist. I'd say move camera to overshow like rivals is pretty much done, although I can't edit it. Lol. Request edit access. Oh, well, there's my email. I'm just doxing everything today. Oh, there's Toasted's full government. Lol. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, when you requested access, it gave me your full government. Wouldn't that be a bit of an issue for a dash-based character? Why? How would that look when the player's constantly looking around trying to turn to hit people behind him? Will it look weird seeing the player's face each time? That's a good question. That's something we'll have to figure out once we do it, you know? Okay, so I think move camera to over shoulder like rivals is done. Player always faces camera is like kind of done. Now here's another issue. Here's another issue, right? We can't... In Rivals, you can move while meleeing. In this game, you stand still when you melee. That's a problem. That is a problem. Because we want to be able to move and strike. Kari's gonna forget tomorrow? No, I'll never forget. But obviously I'm not gonna dox Toasted. Right. So, that's something we're gonna have to fix. And there are a few places we need to look. We need to make sure that if movement is being stopped, yeah, like here. Let's see. That's not what I want. If it's being stopped in the... Oh, interesting. We're working on Unreal 5? Yeah, this is Unreal 5. Oh, okay, I see. Disable movement. This is what's determining if they can move or not. So we need to find references to that. Wow, here we go. Okay. Set disable controls, blah, 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 blah. Player character. Death disable movement. Get disable movement. Wounded need revive disable movement. Revive functionality. Camera controls. Surely when you attack, it's disabling the movement, right? If we go to player inputs, we can look under attack. Fire attack. Attack conditions, attacking, blah, blah, blah. Throw item, attack, or resource collect. Read this. Blah, 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 blah. Event light attack. Whoa. Okay, melee component. Here we go. I hate object-oriented programming. Is this going to make the animation super jank? Yes, but that is necessary. And then we can swap out the animations later. Is this something you do when you're proper chilling, like after work? No, I haven't done much game dev recently. Okay, light attack. Peak, next combo attack. Save attack, heavy attack, blah, blah, save attack, blah, 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 next light attack. Okay, next light attack. Then, on action begin. Next combo attack, calculate total attack damage, calculate light attack. I wonder if it's going to be in here. No. Calculate light attack, yada yada, send attack info to the melee component, MC light attack. Montage to play. Weapon drawn, send weapon attached, play montage. Clear stamina gain, send weapon attach. Nothing on here that says that the movement is being stopped. Do you hate object-oriented programming that much? No, it's fine. It's just this is exactly where you run into issues, is trying to find stuff. Because object-oriented programming is just about abstracting things into the containers, and then if you don't know exactly where to look, like, it's great for organizing stuff until you need to find something and you don't know where it is, basically. So yeah, then I guess the question is probably, is the movement being frozen in the anim montage? Right now I'm looking through the documentation of this project template to see if I can find the information on animations. Changing animations, here we go. So welcome to game dev. When you need to figure something out, you go to the documentation. What is instrumentally playing? It's just Animal Crossing. Okay, inside of state machines, these hold the animation card used for movement. Animations can be swapped out. Through the state. Inside the button space, you can swap the animations. Single-fired animations. Use multiple data tables to store different types of animations. Abilities, assassinations, weapon animations. Combos. General action animations. What we want is attack animations. Fist combat, sword, sword and shield. Okay. Let's do this. Let's also data tables, that's what we want. Attack combos. Melee asset? Melee shop? No. So these are some of the animations for dual wielding. Wow, that's gonna be really annoying. Can I mute this? Okay, cool. So the question is, does it freeze your movement in here? Or does it freeze your movement? This is just the montage. We probably need... Is there no fast way to just get to the animation that it's using? Hello? Here we go. Enable root motion, use normalized. Yes, this is, I think, what we want. Oh, this is going to be kind of annoying. What's the behavior attacking currently? No, the behavior attacking currently is the animations will play and stop your movement. So if I am moving around like this, and then I click, it uses what's called root motion to basically have the animation dictate where your movement is. Or like where you move, but you can't walk during it. Like I can't move backwards while doing the animations. So I wonder if I could just let's see. So we are on two-handed. Wait, no, this is the animations. We don't want to be in there. We want to be in the data table. Two-handed sword. Combo attacks. Light attack 1. That looks right. And then what if we change the slot to upper body? Oh boy. Then theoretically, it should only play on the upper body. Yeah. Okay. That honestly looks pretty good in terms of like, obviously it's totally fucked, but but it does kind of do a little bit of what we want. As long as we were able to move and then see the legs moving and then just swing, like that'd be perfect. It's actually really funny. You're still moving locked during the animation? You are still moving locked during the animation. You can turn during it, I think. That's kind of cool. But it is definitely jank. We're so close though. If I could just figure out how to get it to move during the things, then we would be so chilling. Which I think to do that, I'm not sure. Majored in software engineering, right? No, I majored in nursing. I actually got buried. GG. Hold on. My fault. So look for the logic that plays the animation and see what locks movement, right? Again, IDK the platform might be helpful for the best case scenario. Yeah, exactly. That's actually what I was trying to do earlier, but I couldn't find anything because again, it's so fucking hard to find stuff. So that's why I'm wondering if maybe it's baked into the animation, which we can figure out by going to this animation and maybe unchecking enable root motion and see if that does anything. Let us see, let us see. Yes! Oh my god, yes! Oh my god! Wait. Wait! Oh my god! Wait, that's actually so massive. This is exactly what we needed. Bang! Look, oh bang! Oh my god, the game! Oh my god, the game is going together, bro! No way! Bang! It doesn't even look that bad. Bang! Bro, I thought he just hit a 6 cam BP. Now this is honestly better. Oh! Bang! Bang! Oh my god, that's so exciting. Okay. All right. Because now we gotta do that. We gotta repeat that process for every single animation. Let's do it. So we go here. We go here. Whoops. Yeah. Go to the actual animation itself. Oh my god, what a triumph. This is crazy. Oh, you joined because you heard me screaming? Oh my god. It's so exciting. He's fanboying. And I'm not fanboying, I'm just excited that we figured out one of the main things that, So Lana, what we just figured out is how to make it so you can move while attacking. Because before, the attacks would lock you in place. And we had to dig around and find the settings that were related to this. Okay, this is I already did this one. Wait, I think I can just do this. Hold on. Edit asset actions. Edit selection and property matrix. Enable root motion. Check us out. Bang, 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 bang. Whoops. So I should do it for all of them. Oh. Oh, right. I didn't change this slot. I didn't change the slot for any of them. I wonder if I can do that from here as well. No, I cannot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go through one by one and change the slot for all of them. I don't think we use this one. Light attack. Here we go. Upper body. Right, we already did that one. Upper body. Upper body. And body. Okay. You guys ready? Oh yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Bang. Shouldn't I kind of slow you down just a bit? It doesn't in Rivals. So, you know. Dang. If you have to sprint, you should add sprint attack. Yeah, there is a sprint attack already. But I don't really want it. Is the game mode similar to Marvel Zombies? Yeah, similar. Dude, what a triumph. Oh, critical hit. Bang. Bang. Okay. So that, I mean, that already, so now we just have to do that for every single character. Which means we need to do it for the dual wield. Oh, this is gonna be so awesome, guys. This is gonna be so fucking awesome. Upper body. Upper body. Upper body. Can you hit headshots? As the Punisher character, you'll be able to hit headshots. Okay, now we need to go to each, animation. These and do this. Asset actions. Add selection property matrix and disable all these. What a great way to do this. Okay, so now when we activate the dual wield, which can we do that somewhere? Animations, basic attacks, select attacks, attack movement, dodging. Do I just have it in my inventory? I do. Okay, cool. Check this out. Dual wield daggers. Shling, shling, shling. Oh my god, that's so sick! Oh my god. Shling, shling, shling. Shling, 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 shling. Dude, it actually looks good! This is insane! This is optional to show you all characters inherit from the base. Yes, but the animations don't inherit from anything. So for the because all of these are, you know, handling the animations, I have to do it for each animation. Oh yeah, this is from a template astronaut. It's called the flexible combat system. Oh my god, wait, this actually looks so clean. What? Yo, what is happening to my frames? Yeah. Why does throwing... Why does... Oh my god. Yeah. Holy frames. Dude. Oh my god, I'm so happy. This actually looks crazy. No, it's this like rendering of the animation, the little like thing. Because when it's on the screen, you lag like crazy, but when you finally throw it, it works fine. But that's how spear throwing is gonna work, by the way. We're going for 3 years now? Hell yeah. Okay, this is incredible progress. I did not expect, honestly, to get this far today. Attack while moving. Let's figure it out. What are the next things we need to do? Design pre-selectable characters? Or design classes. Figure out how to set classes. That's the next thing we need to do, is figure out how we can set the dual-wielding character to one of our classes. We're gonna do this for another hour, and then I'm like starving, so Alana and I are gonna go get dinner, but I got like an hour left in me. Okay, so we go back to the documentation. We figured out all the animations. This is all just phenomenal. I'm very excited. That's AI. Why am I looking at AI? Character functionality. Change characters. Pre-made character setup. That's probably what we need. General solution to fix the lag. Wait. Maybe remove the dotted line, just have an endpoint dot so it has less to render. Yeah. Or honestly, having nothing. Like when you're playing Panther and you throw the spear, there's no fucking predicting line. We don't need that shit. You just throw. You throw your reticle. Oh yeah, speaking of that. Reticle always active. That's what we're gonna want at some point. Alonzo just got buried? No. The reservation I made is for 7. Ooh, I didn't realize you made a reservation. Lol. I guess we're going for 3 more hours. Figure out how to set classes. Remove throwing VFX. Around, choosing images you like, everything on the page for visual purpose only, so you can delete or change whatever you don't like. The important part is the data, which we'll look at now. Changing the character button. First, we need to navigate the WB character menu. Make some new data for a new character. There are 3 setups so far. Okay, perfect. Let's go to WB character menu. Let's see. Is it gonna be in here? No. Probably the easiest thing to do will just be to look up WB character menu. Bang. Alright, here we go. Select a character, pre-made characters. I don't even want to see this menu. Like, I think we should just, you know what I mean? Select pre-made character. Yeah, this is where you like select your character, you know? Is 7 more than an hour from now or less? 7 is in 3 hours. Okay. So for each character you want to make a button, you can click on to select it. It needs to run the following code. So add these in for as many pre-made characters you like. If you want a lot of characters, you might switch the setup so it generates the buttons based on the number of characters data sets. With you, nothing wrong with just copy and pasting this code for as many characters as you like. Okay. Changing the character data. 2 variables per character to give information on the male and female versions. Interesting. You can duplicate these if you want to keep my examples or change the data inside them. Here's the code. And here's the characters. Gotcha. Okay. Talk is cheap. Show me the code. Yeah, this is the code. Isn't just UI thing for the player? Yeah. Pre-made melee character, pre-made range character, pre-made. Gotcha. Okay. This is just for the widget blueprint though. I see. Okay, so basically, these are the variables that actually determine the character. Oh my gosh. Hair? Starting stats, starting ability, starting equipment. Okay, so let's change the starting equipment. That's perfect. Starting equipment, quantity 1, slot number. Oh, right, it's a data table. Weapon, sword. So we want to change this to weapon. Weapon, hello? Sword, dagger. And then in the offhand, there's a shield. We want to change this to weapon, dagger. And then here, this is, what is this, two-handed sword? We just set this to nothing, right? Remove all elements? No, I don't want to remove all elements, just this element. I guess I can't, huh. Alright, Rashna, sounds good. Starting abilities, heal once. Right, so we can create the abilities and then make those the starting abilities. Summon fire spider? Bro, let's do that. That just sounds funny. Starting stats, vitality 5, strength 5, dexterity 2. Everyone should have agility, strength, and intellect. Those will be the main starting ones, or the main, yeah. Okay, let's see what we just did. So that should have just changed the main melee guy. Didn't change this melee guy though. Probably to see this, we'll need to go to the back to the dang, bro. Open level. Okay. Maps, main menu. You want Streamlabs? No, I'm on OBS. Okay, then if we go to new game, pre-made characters, this guy, yeah, now has the dual daggers. Carcat. Cool. And he also randomly has these abilities, which is kind of funny. Yo! Talk to Fire Spider? I need you to go home. Oh, interesting. Dang, these are crazy. Ugh. Not enough mana. He looks heavily armored. Yeah. All the meshes and stuff. Obviously, we're gonna have to change. Honestly, I'd want to just have them all be the Unreal Mannequin for now, and just keep it simple. Let's see if I can change that. Head. Is there just SKM Manny? Problem is. Can I just set it to none? Oh, clear. There we go. Clear. Clear. Okay, here we go. We can try to delete all this, change this to full mesh, and wait. Okay, I may have inted a little bit. Hold on. Here we go. Full mesh. SKM Manny. Is this supposed to be a medieval type game? No, it's supposed to be techno western. So all these assets, we're gonna change down the line. But cool. Yeah. Okay. So now he actually just looks like the Unreal Mannequin, which is better for testing. We're a step closer to our rogue. Yo. You planning you're gonna work on the officer first? Yeah, because the problem with the officer is this template doesn't have guns. So the officer's actually gonna be a little bit more work than anticipated. Because I'm gonna need to fully put in a third-person shooter character. Okay. Melee character description. The rogue is very pog indeed. Learning how to figure this stuff out. Oh, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Wait. Yo, what's up, Eve? Be able to view the script as plain text, or is the platform only letting you see it as purely visual? You gonna add an archer? Yeah, maybe at some point. Yes. Well, I think, yeah. This is the wrong character. Wait, what the fuck happened to him? What happened to him? Oh, okay. It was just like a visual bug, I guess. Huh? Oh, it was some bug with the, yeah. That's fine. Whoops. Wait. No, I needed that. What did you trigger to cause it to crash? Oh no, I just pressed escape. That's how you close out of it. And then it shows you whatever errors pop up. Wait, shit. Just gave him an apple. Cool. Okay. How many monitors you got? 2. What do I want to do next? So we know how to make pre-made characters now. The problem is we need like a multiplayer lobby that lets you pick your character. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a thing in multiplayer, host on LAN, create, but it like doesn't work. Very weird. Because all of this is built for like, I mean, the code is replicated and works for multiplayer, but in terms of actually getting it to a multiplayer menu, not sure. It says we need to run it as standalone. Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Want to do the reticle thing? Yes, that is actually a really good point, Goalie. I'm just tinkering right now. Hello, game. Dang, bro, I can hear my computer chugging right now. I go to work for SG. Unfortunately, SG has no money. Alright, this is... It's not responding and it's taking up 7.5 gigabytes of memory. Ah, here we go. Multiplayer. Host. Host. It still did nothing. Okay. Good. Thanks. Appreciate it. Probably just at a later date, we'll replace this whole main menu system with a different one. Yeah, let's do the reticle thing. How do we get the reticle to show up? Let's see first if there is something in the documentation. Okay. Not a deal. Okay. Is there anything in the player character that says reticle? Nope. Okay, well then we just have to find the reticle in the widgets. Oh, multiple connecting. Game checkbox menu. Interesting. HUD. There's the reticle. Let's figure out what makes it tick. First person marker? Is that what it is? Yeah, I suppose it is. Oh, there's another reticle underneath. Yeah, this one. What's this? Why can't I click on it? Hello? Magic crosshair. That's what it is. So we want the magic crosshair to be there always. Let's see what we can see. Then construct. Probably visibility on visibility changed. Why always? Because you just always want to have a reticle, you know? Oh, visibility hidden. Here we go. Visible. Lol. See if that just does it first try. Hey, nice. What does Marvel Rivals crosshair look like? I guess I don't rarely have a crosshair like this. Nothing off the checklist. Boom. Bang. Yo. Holy. I'm gonna need to change how throwing works also to make it go actually towards the reticle. This basically we already did. So I guess, yeah, remove throwing VFX. Let's do that. Rose your PC, but a blower? No. Okay. Something I just want to check real quick is the level blueprint of this. How do I check the level blueprint again? Open level blueprint. So there it is. Okay, there is nothing. Good to know. So then it's probably in the game mode. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff to figure out when it comes to like the menus and things like that. How do we get players to be able to join a lobby and then be able to pick their character? This is gonna be all day? No, it's gonna be probably for another hour or two. Yeah, I was about to say something. My fear is just gonna potentially freak you out. What's gonna potentially freak me out? Because you got this skeleton off the internet, didn't actually build this thing from the ground up. Won't optimizing this game be a nightmare? Probably not. I mean, maybe. But one, Unreal Engine is gets a bad rep for its optimization. Two, the game template was made, you know, obviously with some element of optimization in mind. Now, here and there might be some issues, like with that one VFX, but I don't think, you know, they had any bad practices that would make this any less optimized than any other thing I could have done, you know? Okay, honestly, what I kind of want to do now is try adding an ability. Add an ability to the rogue. Spirit throw. And to do that, we need to figure out how to add abilities, which we can go to the documentation for. Creating armor sets, changing animations. Throwing weapons, that's going to be important to know. What does movement setup say? Nothing super helpful. Oh, this will be good to know as well. Bow mesh, blah blah blah. Casting spells, creating new abilities. Here we go. Every single ability has a heap of customizable information in the ability database, making creating and editing ability information incredibly easy, allowing you to change ability properties and VFX. For a lot of new abilities, you need to do no coding and can just change the ability properties. I love the sound of that. Oh, they already have a chain lightning ability. Epic. As for the code itself, all abilities are children of an ability parent blueprint, where abilities have numerous children events ran, begin ability, release ability, fire ability. I'm gonna make new custom code for your abilities off these events. Very easy. I love it. Okay. And all the abilities, I think, yeah, are in an ability database. So let's go find the ability database. Let's look up ability in flexible combat system. DT ability info, that's probably what it is. Bang! Here's every single ability. Chain lightning sounds cool? Yeah, it does. Yeah, changing the models should be easy as hell. Like really, really easy. Yeah, lots of abilities already. Very, very cool. So all we need to do to add an ability, let's do some sort of projectile would be good. Yeah, this is awesome. We're going to be using all these. This is so perfect. Oh, I'm actually so excited. This is going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Okay, projectile. So let's take Frostbolt. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert a new row above, I guess. And we'll call this projectile spear. Flamethrower spotted. Oh, is there already a flamethrower ability? Yeah, nice. Okay, we'll set the range to 3,000. We'll set the mana cost to 10. I don't know, or maybe like 30. Base damage 45. Lol. Cooldown 6 seconds. Lol. Ability image. We'll just get. Oh wait, there is a spear ability image. Spear, perfect. Look at that. Spell charge PS. I'm not sure what this is. Animation. We need. It's just a projectile. Spell sound effects. Spell fire. Is there a throw sound effect? Projectile throw. Yeah, we'll just hold off on that for now. Spell description. Throw a spear. Instant cast, yes. Requires placement, no. Requires channel, no. Spell category, general. Damage type, physical. Special damage info, no. Socket attached name, main hand spell, perfect. That's probably what we need. Spell parent class. BP ability projectile, that's probably a decent one. Is melee ability, no. Is ranged ability, yes. Well. Can your PC game handle all that? Handle all what? It is ranged. Fired in camera direction. Range damage type radius at arrow hit. Hit radius? I don't know. So it's like 10. Weapons that can use. Gun. There's no gun in the game yet. That's interesting. One-handed weapon. Has charge up? No. Charge up montage? No. Okay. realized that the name should just be spear. Okay, so now I'm not sure what happens next. I think if we equip this ability, it's not going to do anything. Because how would it? It doesn't have like a mesh associated with it. Here's BP ability projectile. Damn it, all this stuff is built in. Yeah, this is built into the template. You know, the data tables. This is why the template is cool. Let's just see what happens when I use the ability. And the way we can do that is we can go back to our character menu, and in our male character, we can add the ability. Starting abilities. Instead of summon fire spider, we do projectile spear. And now let's just see what happens. I actually don't know what's gonna happen, but it should be right here. Oh, it's not. Oh, you know why? Because we are in the wrong. We need to go to the main menu first. Good night, Z. Yeah, check that out. Throw a spear. We go to skills. Here's our new spear ability. And the question is, what the hell does it do? It does nothing. Interesting. And also stops me from being able to use my weapons. Not ideal. You know what it probably is? Wait. Yeah. See, I don't have the required weapon. I kind of messed it up. In the ability info, I set it to one-handed weapon, but maybe I just set it to none. None equals none required. Yeah, okay. Whoops. Bow required. What the heck? How do you turn on streamer mode? I guess I'm wrong. My fault, guys. Yeah, debugging time. I mean, it says the bow is required, which probably means I just need to turn off. Yeah. That. Still doesn't look like it's gonna work. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I did, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Okay, so that time the icon is lit up, so presumably it should be working, but it's still just not going. Okay, let's try this instead. Let's delete this spear thing and let's instead duplicate frostbolt. Whoops. There we go. Let's duplicate frostbolt, and that way we can actually test it out. Running projectile, spell charge, spell sound effects, that's fine. Spell description, throw a spear. General, physical. Main hand spell, BP ability projectile. None of this is checked, which is good. Okay, just taking a look at all the different things that it has. Aha! Shoo! Shoo! Bang! Oh, I wonder, wait. Spell spawn weapon. Data table. Item. Spear. Wait. Shit. Weapon spear. Hold on, I might be cooking. When I cast this ability, it should put a spear in my hand. Did it? I can't tell. I don't think it did. Hmm. So the two things I need to do, change the animation so that it looks like I'm throwing a spear, and then spawn a spear. And then throw the spear. Looks very slow. Yeah, it does look slow. You're right. It's this animation when it hits. Oh, that could be... Dude, if we just... Wait. If I just duplicate this, change it to NS Spear Explosion, and then just make it purple. Let's see. Where'd the color at? Is this the color? It already looks pretty purple. What are you trying to do? I was thinking about like an explosion for the spear. That looks like BB's explosion for the spear. Well, it doesn't really matter. This could be something else for time. But what we want to do is we want to change the projectile itself, which I'm not sure where that happens. I know this explosion change it to the spear explosion, and now it'll do the spear explosion instead. Like a dagger throw would make more sense. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. Like you throw one of your daggers, and then it does something. What does it do though? Does it explode? Yeah, I think if you throw the dagger, like ideally you just wouldn't have to retrieve it. That would be really not fun. Yeah, see now it goes. Also, where'd my reticle go? Wait. What? Now there's just no projectile, but it still lands, which is interesting. Yeah, I know why the reticle's gone. The reticle's gone because the reticle is specifically for magic, and so we set it to be active by default, but the code when you use magic probably hides it. What if you throw the dagger and it ricochets to a few different targets and those targets get marked? That could be cool. So I just need to change the spell animation to this throwing animation and then make it throw a spear, or make it throw a dagger, and then we're all good. To be too close to rivals? I guess not, yeah. Yeah, true ghoulie. So the thing is, all the projectiles seem to be Niagara effects, which is not super helpful for what we want to do. I appreciate it, Asta. Okay, what if we did this? What if we... I think we could make a child blueprint of this ability projectile. Maybe it's more like an ability ranged. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe is ability ranged... What is this? Jump back and fire an arrow at the target. Yeah. Like ability ranged probably has like an actual projectile that it uses. Maybe not. Did you give up on the Minecraft ATM 10? I mean, I haven't played it much, yeah. I would say giving up is such a harsh way to put it. Like I got everything that I wanted to get basically. I play on the server daily, actually. Cause low key, the server costs like $30 a month to maintain, so I was gonna like close it down. Cause I wasn't sure if anyone still played on it. Toasted, be honest, when was the last time you played on the Minecraft server? Don't talk to me in all caps as if you play on it every day. We give you more than $30 per month. Oh my god. I think the only one was logging in. Yeah, that's what I figured, Goalie. Okay, interesting. Wait, this is actually interesting. So there is an arrow projectile. And it like actually has a fit thing. This is really cool. How does it... Where does it assign the mesh? I don't understand how this works, bro. Oh, here we go. SM sharp arrow. Okay, I wonder... if I could make one of these, but for a dagger. Yeah. Man. Okay, let's try this. Can I... There we go. If I duplicate this and do NS thrown dagger, I go in here, I change this from the arrow to the dagger. And then let's just get rid of all this nonsense. And I guess this. Okay, we're gonna keep that for now because that tells us what direction it needs to go in. Then also we need to stop rotating. Cool. Then no. I need to just look normal, bro. Like this is such an annoying way to do this, bro. Why do they have to do it this way? What are you working on right now? I'm trying to get a dagger projectile. Bob does not give me $200 a month. Also, Toasted, that's not your call. wish I knew anything about this fucking... Oh, here we go. Wait. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Nope. Oh my god, why does it keep doing that? Negative 90. Okay. Okay. Wait, we're getting somewhere. Bang. Now I can get rid of this. And I just, okay, now I just need to like make this not AIDS to look at. There we go. Okay, wait, we're on a roll. Okay. Now, wait, now we can just change, wait. Now we can just go here and do dagger. Bang. And then that honestly might just work. Why? Wait. Oh, right. Okay, you guys ready? Let's see what we got. Bang. Oh! Bang! Yeah! Yo. That's hilarious. No fucking shot, bro. Cha. Cha. Bang. Bang. It's a little jank, but it's, you know, the start. Okay, now the question is, where is the throwing animation? Let's look in animations and just look up throw. Yes, that's what we want, bro. That's what we want. Oh my god. Okay, so then can I just change the throwing animation? Animation. We need to make a new one. Bro. Throw. Bang. And then... Wait, this is actually about to be insane. Wait, you guys ready for this? Oh my god. Tell me you're ready. Tell me you're ready. Bang! Oh. Wait, nothing happened. Wait, it's still in my hand. Oh. I know what's happening here. It's probably because these animations have special anim notifies on them. Yep. Okay, look at that. Look at that. We need to copy all this over to our throw. Which means we should probably make a new throw animation. Just do here, duplicate this, call it throw ability, and then put that here instead. So anim notifiers are what allow you to play, or allow you to trigger certain events at a specific point in an animation. So for example, here we have toggle attack rotate, we have input buffer switch, we have trigger magic ability, and then trigger next ability. So I don't know what each of these does, I can guess based on the names, but the bottom line is we're just gonna have to put these into our new one that we made. This one. What's up, Cern? So for example, first we should probably put in timing. How do we do this? Wait. Yes, okay. We're gonna need 2 notify tracks. And then here we add a notify. And what was it called? Toggle attack. Hello? Hello? Wait. Yeah. Whoops. Toggle attack rotate. Why is that not here? Here we go. And it plays for like this long. It's fine. And then we have AN input buffer switch, which should play a little bit after. And go for, I don't know, maybe that long. There's also a much shorter animation, which we have to keep in mind. So actually this should probably be like the first 10 frames. And then this can be like this long. And then we need trigger magic ability, which we want to trigger right here on the throw. Whoops. And then we need trigger next ability. Okay, so with all this in place, this should work now. Are there 2 throw animations? One is like strong throw, the other's a quick throw. One is the throw animation for throwing weapons, and one of them is for like casting spells. So we're just taking the throwing weapon one and making it a cast spell one. Okay, let's try it. Moment of truth. Yeah! Nice. Bah! It should definitely move faster. Also, wait, why is it like... That's a little concerning. I can't turn my like, it does it wherever I initially press it instead of where my camera ends up. Not sure how to fix that. Maybe we gotta do that. I could just throw from higher? Okay, hold on. That'll probably look better. Like that. This your own game? Yeah, it will be. Wait, that looks good? Okay. Appreciate it, Itadori. Like the way the dagger looks when you pull it out is kind of strange. Yeah, that's because it's like literally attached to my arm and not facing the right way. Which... yeah, look at that. That looks crazy. What game is it gonna be? It's pinned. Pinned. You gotta click on the pinned message. I explain it in detail. I didn't really know our checklist move. True. True. So actually, we don't need to do this anymore because we can just have it be a part of the abilities. All good, no worries. Yeah, we're gonna need to do a lot of custom code to make the abilities do different stuff though, because right now the abilities are very limited in what they can do. You know what I mean? It's like abilities. Like this ability projectile, like all it does is just like shoots a projectile and then it does some amount of damage. It's not gonna be what the characters actually look like, right, brother? Of course not. What the hell? What? This is literally the default Unreal Engine mannequin. Like this, of course, this is not what it's gonna look like. This is a test dummy for that. But the art and stuff for 3D models, that comes like last. You know, we got to get the mechanics down. When did you start? Today. So I guess I'm an OG. Yeah, true. Here you go, fired in camera direction. Wait. Dashing should be theoretically an easy ability to implement. Yeah. It's not forcing the player to move up in his movement speed. It's just moving the hero for moving the player in a, like, actually preventing their movement and then moving them in a fixed direction. Yeah, I'm definitely planning on doing more at Itadori for sure. What is fire dash charge? Huh. Hmm. My implication correct? I mean, it makes less sense to increase their movement speed and then force them to do a movement input than it does to stop their movement overall and just move them a fixed distance. Sounds good, world class. That's good feedback. Thank you. So the next thing to figure out, okay, spell speed, we could definitely turn that up to like 5,000. Yeah, that looks better. Loki for supposed to be BP. Yeah, Itadori, definitely want to like release this game at some point. Did you implement marks yet? No, dude, I have not implemented like anything crazy yet. So the question now is how to make a animation spell. Play montage. Projectile, dash from actor. Overlap for enemies needs to overlap, otherwise projectile collides with player velocity. That's it for mental. Don't try to add release dates too earlier, because if you don't meet your expectations, you can feel a bit down. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. When is the position of the hit being decided? It looks like when you threw the spear and quickly turned around, your arms in an awkward state and stuck in the animation. Yeah, that's the problem right now that I'm running into that I don't know how to fix. Is it throws it where you initially were aiming and not where you aim at the point of the release. You know what I mean? Which is not good. That's not what you want. The problem is I don't know how to fix that right now. My hunch is that it has something to do with these. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Yeah, the problem might be in the actual ability. Yeah, I don't love the way this is implemented. This might take like a more custom implementation. not as well documented as I would have hoped it'd be. So basically what's happening is you can see here, it's taking your mouse location and determining where to throw it, and then it's playing the animation. So you can turn during the animation and it's not updating where it's trying to throw the ability. So that's not good. What we need is for it to calculate when to throw the ability right here when it actually throws the fucking thing. Or else it's just not gonna work. Which event calls the calculate hit location function? It's when you press the ability. So as soon as you press F to cast the ability, oops. On cast is awful? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm confused why they did that. I can fix it though. Brain hurt. Okay, so we're gonna need, yeah, trigger magic ability is really what should do this. So let's go into that blueprint. Trigger magic spell. Call spellfire, dispatch. Start cooldown. Ay ay ay. Everything just so convoluted. Because where is this location actually being consumed? The mouse location. Where am I? Just the wrong blueprint. Yes. Mouse location, calculate ability, hit location. Take the mouse location, we get the camera location, camera forward, get the projectile hit location from that. Okay, and then where's projectile hit location used? Projectile hit location and location. And calculate ability velocity. So where do we call this? Who knows? There we go. Calculate ability velocity. Trigger spell attack. Event trigger ability triggered from animation. Event trigger ability. Isn't that? Yeah, this is very confusing. Want to put a breakpoint there? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, wait, this is so weird. This is... I don't see this in the animation. Trigger ability? I see trigger magic ability. But I don't see trigger ability. Are these the same? They're not. I mean... There is no trigger ability, bro. Like, what? What? Okay, hold on. Where does this get called? It gets called from the magic component. Okay, so I think it gets called here. Yeah. Trigger magic spell. Trigger magic spell. Okay. So this Animal Notify trigger magic ability triggers trigger magic spell, which triggers trigger ability, which triggers trigger ability, BP ability parent, which means this, since it inherits it, is going to call that, and then do all this. So but yeah, it is calculating the velocity and where it should go when you release it from your hand. What? But that's just not, I mean, that... Fuck! Okay, let's do a breakpoint. Let's put a breakpoint here. So what we should expect is that this breakpoint would fire midway through the animation. Yeah, that's what you'd expect. So then the question is, why is it not updating? What? Because then it takes the ability velocity, which it calculated. Hold on. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. We know we need to find. Hold on. Appreciate it, Roku. My head's exploding too. Okay, that makes more sense. So this calculate ability hit location is running right when you press F. And then everything else is running once the animation plays. So that's the problem. So all we have to do is figure out when does this get called and how to delay it getting called until the next thing. Here we go. Boom. Fire spell animation. This is the problem. We're taking the mouse location from before we even start the animation. And that's not what we want. So what we need to do is take this and move it somewhere else, which might be a little tricky. Boom, animation, and then once we trigger the ability, this is where it needs to happen. But the thing that's tricky about this is to make it network replicated, we're gonna have to do an RPC, because right now all this code is running on the server, I believe. Yep. It's replicated on the server. So what we're gonna need to do is create a new event. Finally, we're actually into some coding. And we do... Is there already a naming convention for this? MC. No, that's multi-classed. Server RPC. So it's probably CR. Calculate ability hit location. Then we need to set this to run on owning client, set it to reliable, and run this in here. need to call CR calculate ability hit location, and then make a new custom event, SR calculate ability velocity. So it's replicated, run on server. Put this here. This is where things get a little bit convoluted. Hell yeah. So now we need to get the mouse location, which we can just yoink all this code and put it down here. Location. And then we need to pass it to here. So this needs to have a mouse location thing. Dude, the payoff when this works is gonna feel so good. We can get rid of the input here. We don't need it anymore. We can also get rid of this. Wait. Did I do something wrong here? I need to double check something. Hold on. Ah, okay. Slight change that I messed up. This needs to be run on the server. So it needs to look like this. Boom. This should actually work. Okay, shall we try? I'm a little scared. Okay. Here it is like normal. Yeah, let's go! Oh my god. Dang. Cool. That's pretty epic. Oh my god. Yeah, Gully, that was pretty sick, man. Pretty sick, pretty sick. Oh my god. Wow. Let's try to like use it in a... Dang, this is actually so sick. Yeah, so as soon as we equip an ability, that's when the reticle goes away. One more thing before your dinner reservation. Maybe the dash? Oh man. Maybe. Yeah, we could try. I mean, there's already fire dash, so why don't we just do that and just call it dash. Dash. That's a range. Yeah, we don't know. That's fine. The animation's fire dash. For this, we're gonna need like a... Oh wait, just like the first... Hold on. Just like the first frame of that would be perfect. Like to that. Oh, dude, I wish it was like different, you know? Okay, let's do this. Let's browse to asset, let's duplicate it, and let's call this melee dash. Then what we want to do is basically just cut out like, oh, dude, I wish I could fucking side scroll, man. This shit's so annoying. It, like, works some of the time and not the rest of the time. Yeah, we need like... There we go. Remove frames from 12 to 37. There you go. There's our dash animation. Then what we want is enable root motion and use normalized root. Save. Then all we have to do is create an anim montage. And then we just go over here and... Oh wait, we need to create a new one, just call it dash. And find our dash. There we go. Go back over here. Change it to dash. Dash. Let's try it. Oh, now we need to add it to our character. Wonder how this works. Can I do like ability? Then starting equipment, starting abilities, dash. Okay. That's so true, your hammers. Yo, what's up, Supercell ID? Okay. So now we have dash, but it's saying that I can't use it for some reason. Incompatible parameter. In the item data. Data table's type. Spell info is not the same as the return type. Item data. Okay, I think this was because I tried to do this. Yeah, okay. And then it's saying I can't use it for some reason. Are planning to release this game? Eventually, yeah. That's the hope. never seems to work, bro. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see if dash works. What was that? Oh shit. What just happened? What the fuck? It's like you did my implementation? Yeah, I know. It doesn't play the animation? I know. What's happening? I don't understand. I have no idea what's going on. I'm finding this ability implementation workflow, or just pipeline, very annoying. Like, I'd almost rather I just, like, I don't know. I don't know. You know, as a checklist, you have no end goal. It's all just theoretical. It needs to be written down. Okay. Oh man, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm having a hard time focusing because I'm so hungry. Any specifics yet? Yeah, it's pinned. It's pinned. You see the pinned message in the YouTube chat? There's a whole mini game design document there you can look at. Too many tabs. Yeah, we're gonna get dinner. It's just our reservation's at 7, so I got another hour. I think the problem is I need some of these again, so let's put some in. Yeah, it is Eve. It is. All right, let's see it. Oh, what? Wait. Bro, it's like freaking out. I think what's happening is... Honestly, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Oh, sheesh. Oh, that was kind of it. Hold on. Oh my god. God, this is the tricky part about this kind of stuff. Working with a template. I feel like I just need to create a custom ability blueprint that doesn't have to do with all this garbage here, because it's just so much nonsense. That's funny, Jordan. Maybe don't go spreading it around. Oh yeah. It is what it is. Okay. I'm pretty fried, to be honest. I think this is a decent stopping point. Honestly, very happy with the progress so far. Getting it from, you can't move around while attacking and not looking like the Marvel Rivals, angle, to now you can move while attacking and even, throw a dagger. Pretty good progress. Thank you, Gully. I appreciate it. When's the next game dev stream? I don't know. But I appreciate you guys very much for being here. This is not the type of stuff that I expect anyone to just sit around and watch. So the fact that you guys were here for so long, it's pretty awesome. I'll definitely work on this off stream and on stream. So hopefully the next time you guys see me doing this, I'll have made a little bit more progress as well. But I think with that, we're going to call it. So I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. And yeah. hopefully this becomes something. All right. Peace.